There are two things that are setting your virtual event up for failure before it's even begun, and you don't even know it. So, what are these things? Welcome to the next installment of the Virtual Breakdown, where I break down the good, the bad, and the ugly of virtual and hybrid events, so your next one isn't a dud. And yes, there are two things that are setting your virtual event up for failure before it's even begun, and they both have to do with mindset. The first one I have heard all too often, and it's, this is the way that we've always done it. And the ever so popular, well, everybody else is doing it that way. And you know where that one leads. So either way, both are poor excuses to let the valuable commodity of your virtual events fail. Maybe you've been thinking to yourself that virtual events are just not worth it in your industry. Sir, ma'am, some of the biggest brands are still out here very much doing them because they've realized that there is gold in them, their virtual hills. And if you are willing to address these issues that I am still seeing, even from some of the top levels, I promise you that you will begin to set yourself apart with both clients and prospects that attend your virtual events. So before we get too far into it, hello there and welcome, brave one. Thank you for joining me today. And whether you are here with me live or in the replay, I invite you to play along with me, ask me questions, let me know what you're thinking, and I will be sure to answer you as soon as I can. And if you think what I'm talking about today is helpful for someone in your circle, then make sure you get this video to them, okay? So get your thumbs warmed up, start sending me some visual love so I know that you are pumped and ready to go. And if this is your first time here with me, my name is Ella Glasgow. I'm the Director of Funability at Beyond Virtual Events, and I make virtual events tight. And I do this for established small businesses and corporations that need more engagement and better production so they can have events that keep working for them long after the event is over. So, righty then. A big shout out to my friend David Reed on LinkedIn, who has reignited Ace Ventura memes in my head for the last few days. But anyway, these are things that we're letting go of for your virtual events in 2024. The things that we are letting go of for your virtual events in 2024. I'm saying no more to these in 2024. And the first one is no eye contact. I know. You have done it. I've done it. We've all done it. But these are things that have been accepted as okay, but they're not really acceptable. Looking down to talk to your screen instead of looking into the eyes of your audience, which happens to be that camera, so your audience can see you looking at them, has got to be fixed for you, because this is the way for the audience to connect with you. And I know it can feel hard because you've got your screens in all of these different places. And depending on your level of comfortability with tech, there are some things that you can do to be able to minimize the amount of look downage that happens and continue to keep your eyes connected with your audience. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to stare them down and stare deep into their souls. That's not what I'm talking about. Obviously, there are going to be times when you look away, and that's okay. But what I'm talking about is this, looking only at your screen, because that's where the faces of your audience are. You can get a teleprompter and make that much easier for yourself. It doesn't always have to be directly on your one screen. You can get a teleprompter and they don't have to be expensive. They are really, really easy for you to get. So number two, the thing that we are saying no more in 2024 is TikTok mode. So TikTok mode. What am I talking about? TikTok mode? Yeah, I'm talking about using your phone like this. I've seen you. We've all seen you where you've come into the event and you are just this much of your screen with these black bars beside you. You are squeezed in. And unfortunately, this in a virtual event, not on TikTok, does not work. Now, am I telling you that you cannot use your phone? No, I tricked you because I'm using my phone right now. However, I have my phone turned this way so that I can come in full screen and you can see everything that you need to see of me, and I don't feel like I'm squeezed into a tiny box, and I look like I'm the authority on screen. I want you to look like the authority on screen. Not authority, because this is everybody in the room. Authority. Do it. Do it. Do it. Okay, are you ready for the next one? Okay. This one really burns my buttons. And that is, you've heard me talk about this before, that is starting late. So the thing is that if you announce to the room of 45 people that have been sitting there waiting for you to begin, they got there on time, and you say to them, we're going to start just a little bit late, get everybody time to get into the room, to get where we are, and all the things, and then start 10 minutes later. Look, Stephanie, I see, yes, I hate the late starts. It makes me upset. Oh my goodness. But if you are getting those people are there, they took the time to be there on time. And now you are disrespecting their time and the fact that they showed up on time for the stragglers. Now, I get it. You want to make sure that everybody gets what they may have paid for, but it was their decision to not show up on time. So you have to honor your start time. So please start honoring your start times. The next thing related to this, I want you to think about this here. No more in 24 apologizing. Starting with apologies before you even begin. Things like, oh, I'm so sorry that my slides are not working properly, guys. Just forgive me for the slides today, or please forgive me for my audio not working properly, or please forgive me for whatever it happens to be. Because the thing is, to a degree, some of that could have been fixed long before this event began. And what you are telling your audience when you are apologizing at the start of your event, you're telling them that you didn't care enough to make sure everything was working properly. Is that really the message that you want to send to your audience from the jump? Whether you are a speaker at someone's event or you are the one hosting the event, please stop starting with apologies. And if anything has to do with what's going on, maybe you're not the one running the event. I can recall this time I was speaking for someone's event a few years ago, and I wasn't the one running it. I was just there speaking, but there was a speaker that got there before me, and she started her talk with, y'all, forgive me for the way that I'm dressed today because the airline did this and they didn't do that and he didn't do this and she didn't do that. She went on for literally 5 minutes and also blamed some of the people that were hosting the event for her not being prepared. Now, I understand that things happen. These things do happen. But it's not your responsibility, and nor is it wanted by your audience for you to make some kind of apology for it. There are things, for instance, if what you're wearing is not something that you would have normally worn, you don't have to tell the audience that you wouldn't have normally worn that. They don't need to know. And they probably don't know you well enough to know that you weren't going to wear that anyway. So stop apologizing for things that don't need to be apologized for, because now all we're doing as an audience is judging. We're wondering, oh, what was she supposed to wear? Because now I wonder if what she was supposed to wear is supposed to be anything different. Or that slide that they said that they forgot, I wonder what was on it. Why'd they forget it? I don't know why they didn't put it in anyway. That's what we're thinking about. Now we're no longer paying attention to you, and you've lost their attention. So please, 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 for the love of all that is wonderful and holy, stop apologizing for whatever the apology might be for. Okay. Are you are you picking up what I'm putting down? Is this getting to you? Okay, good. Well, before I go any further, I want to ask you. Hello, Arthur. Thank you for enjoying the vibe. Well, here's something really, really cool. Did you know that I actually run a live virtual event twice a month in Zoom? Yes. It is called the Business Breakout. I do it on the first and third Wednesday of every month, and I interview thought leaders in business and showcase excellence in entertainment while you get a behind the scenes look at how I run virtual events and see how I make all these things that I'm talking about today happen and make them tight. But you don't have to take my word for it. Here is what one person had to say after being in the Zoom audience.
My experience with Zoom has been, this is totally different. I mean, this is a major production and really understanding how to use the tool in creative ways that I don't know. I don't know how you did what you did. It's engaging, it's interesting, and it's really what I'm looking to do to bring to my programs. You know, something that's a lot more engaging, a lot more interesting, a lot more fun. So I don't know how you do your magic, but I'm much more educated now, and I'm very interested to explore further.
There are so many things that are possible for your virtual event that you may have wanted, but we're just not sure they could happen with the tool set that you have. And I would love to invite you to join me for my next virtual event so you can see exactly what's possible for yours. And the experience that you bring your audience at your next virtual event could be vastly different and help build that trust factor because you took the time to address these things that we're talking about today for your audience. So what is the next thing? The next thing that I want you to be aware of, it's happening all over the place. I wish I could tell you that I have not seen this in years, but I have literally just seen these things. And that is allowing your panel of 4 or more people to be derailed by the one who doesn't know when to stop talking and the moderator who doesn't know how to moderate. You must have your moderators know how to guide the conversation along so that not just one person is the voice of the entire event and not allowing the other people to speak. I'm sure that they have many wonderful things to say, and I'm sure that what it is they do is very, very valuable. Otherwise, why would you have invited them to come to the event in the first place? That being said, this event has many speakers, not just them. And if you don't have speakers that understand that, then you might need to get a different speaker to be on the panel. And you might need to find a moderator that knows how to handle the people that are on the stage so that your event can run on time, which leads me to the next thing, and that is breaking promises. When you allow your panel sessions to run longer than they were advertised, that means that you are most likely shortening things on the other end. And that means it's probably things that you promised, like maybe the discussion breakout that needed to happen after the panel. And then you're wondering why no one is engaging when they come back. It's because you broke the promise. You broke the promise that there would be an opportunity for possibly networking, for talking about the things that are going to be discussed at the event, and give people time to be with each other and really acclimate these things that they're learning. When you break these promises, you are breaking trust, and you are also setting yourself up for failure in having an engaged audience. So I implore you to please, if you yourself are not a trained moderator, if that is just not your jam, that I encourage you to hire one. While I love running things and doing things myself, I understand that I am not the best at everything. And it may be that you are not the best person to handle these top level things for your event, because you run the risk of having a bad experience given to your audience, which means that they're not going to trust you to come to the next one. And I want you to have incredible virtual experiences for your audience. I want your audience to be like, man, that was amazing. I can't wait for the next one. I can't wait to be a part of the next thing. I want them to love it, whether they're having a community with you in person or community with you virtually. Wherever this is in your marketing stack, I want it to be amazing, and I want your audience to love it. And with that, I have one last thing that I want to share with you when it comes to mistakes that I'm seeing happening. And this one, I literally just saw this happen last week. And that is the shaky camera. Now, if you are speaking at your event, this is something that I'm seeing happening even at large companies. Shaky cameras. If your camera is set at a place that is going to feel your every move, that means it's going to shake. So for instance, my camera happens to be on a little camera holder that is like a gooseneck camera holder that is connected to my desk. Now, if I were to shake my desk or hit my desk, as many people do, you may see a little bit of shake. Now it's being real sturdy today. It's doing what it needs to do. It ain't moving today. Because I've set it up that way on purpose. So that if I accidentally hit my desk, it's not going to cause things to get shaky and feel like we're in an earthquake from an audience point of view. And this is what I saw happening at someone's event last week. It was from a larger company. Yes, they had some really great things, but every time one of their speakers touched their desk, it was literally like we had gone into some kind of earthquake zone. That makes me dizzy. It makes your audience dizzy. And you know who was the worst at this? Now, look, this is not a political conversation, but you know who was the worst at this, hitting things all the time? Obama. Look, whether you love him or hate him, I hated that he always hit the podium all the time. Okay, I've let it out. I've let it out publicly now. But my question to you is, which one of these things have you been seeing happening at virtual events, causing you to believe that virtual events are sucky? Virtual events are not sucky. Virtual events are amazing when they are done correctly. And we have to let go of these things in 2024. We can no longer allow them to happen, because I want you to be set apart from the others that are just kind of taking things as they come and saying, there's nothing we can do about it. That is not true. There is everything that you can do about it. And if you need help with getting these things done, then reach out to me, because I am here for you to help you make your event the absolute best that it can be. And I hope that in our time together today, that you are getting something out of this. And I hope that you will put these things into practice. One of them, all of them, Keep going and make your events fantastic, because my goal is to help you take your events from blah webinars that are so 2019 to fantastic showcases that not only highlight you and your brand, but also create a sense of trust in your future clients, customers, and employees. Because at Beyond Virtual Events, it is not just about hosting events. It's about crafting experiences with purpose. Your event is a stepping stone for your audience. And when done right, it can transform a single moment into a cascade of marketing opportunities for your business. And with us, it's not just about going live, it's about creating a lasting impact that extends far beyond the event itself. So, as I said, if you are looking to elevate your virtual presence and turn your next event into a powerhouse of ongoing engagement without tech snafus and headaches, then we're here to make that happen. So until next time, keep making your mark, and remember, everything that you do can go far beyond. I'll see you next time.